Hey VC, what's up? Logan coming to you from Nerdy Vinyl. A couple of things today. One, I want to talk about something pretty sad, and the other thing I want to talk about, I want to show you a new album I got last night. First thing I want to talk about, it's pretty sad, and there's some things about it that piss me off. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But I want to talk about the passing of one Michael Lee Aday, more affectionately known to the rest of us as Meat Loaf. Meat Loaf. We lost him, 74 years old. It's really, my wife came in the room yesterday, and she doesn't really follow music. She's not a name person. If she knows something, she's heard it or whatever. She's not wired that way. And she grew up on K-Love. Just call that what it is. Okay, so she's not big on music, but she knew I had this album, and she knew I was a fan of Meat Loaf. And so she goes, oh no, and I'm like, what? She brought her phone in hand, and I could see his picture before I saw anything else. I was like, motherfucker. I just knew. As soon as I saw his picture on her phone, I just knew. And so it's pretty sad. And this was my introduction to Meat Loaf when I was 11, 12 maybe, if that, maybe younger. It couldn't have been more than 12, because I remember the house we lived in the first time I saw it, and we moved out of that house when I was 12. So, 11, maybe 10, 11 maybe, the first time I saw this movie. And there he is, as Eddie. Little hop to that, bless my soul. Really love that rock and roll. But it's just sad. The guy was, a pretty good human being, actor, musician, as we know. But what makes it sad, really, for me, more so than just his passing, there's a thing that the media tends to do sometimes that really pisses me off. And they've done it with Meat Loaf. Now, a lot of times somebody dies, it's like some journalist or whatever feels the need to put some kind of a shitty spin on somebody's death, for whatever reason. If it's to sell copies, to sell, I don't know that they sell magazines really anymore, and papers and whatnot, but it's, I'll tell you what I'm talking about, and I don't want to start any kind of a political deal whatsoever, but if you Google Meat Loaf right now, and it's been up since yesterday, so I've been stewing about this since yesterday, because it was like maybe 11, maybe let's call it 12 hours after he died. I saw this article, and I was like, really? Not even a day? But if you Google Meat Loaf right now, the first news article that pops up says something. I'm paraphrasing it best, but essentially it says, anti-vaxxer Meat Loaf dies after COVID illness. Why? Why is that an article that needs to be written today? Like, you couldn't wait like a week, or at least a few days, less than 24 hours after the man's death, and you're like, he's an anti-vaxxer, and he died of COVID. Murr. No, shut the fuck up. Let the man's body get cold before you start trying to make a political statement out of his life and out of his death. Because now here's what's going to happen is people that don't know, there are a lot of people who probably don't know who Meat Loaf is. That's fair. Younger kids probably might not know who Meat Loaf was. And somebody's like, oh, Meat Loaf. They're like, who the hell's Meat Loaf? And they look him up, right? Because they're like, okay, I'll look him up, whatever. Who the hell's Meat Loaf? First thing they see, anti-vaxxer dies after COVID illness. And they're like, oh, well, fuck that piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what side of the thing you're in. Like I said, I'm not going to weigh my political stance in on this at all. They say this is a vinyl channel. This ain't the place for that. But I will say that journalists are pieces of shit. And, it's like I always go back to when Swayze died. Every magazine you saw on about like the day he died, like the Swayze death issue of every magazine, not one of them used a picture of him like in his prime, with his Point Break hair, or his nobody puts baby in the corner swagger. None of that. No. Let's show him looking like he's the Crypt Keeper's freaking brother. You know what I mean? Like, anyways. But Meat Loaf is gone. Sad. Another thing about this that pisses me off. And this one, I think this one pisses me off a little bit more than the article thing. I was looking up a few months ago. I was looking up Back into Hell. I want to try to pick up a copy of it, and I had it in my want list on Discogs. And I remember it was like $40. Is what I was looking at. It was like 40. I think it was, quite a few copies on there for reasonable. Last night I went on Discogs and looked up Back into Hell. You can't find a copy on there for under $100. The fuck? Like, if there's that, like, another thing that just pisses me off is like the man just died and vultures are already trying to capitalize on it. Like, it just pisses me off. Or maybe the copies that were cheaper than that got scooped up faster. It's just like, really, the man's not even cold yet, and you're already charging $200 for one of his albums. Whatever. Let's move on. Okay, let's talk about something else now. Let's talk about album that I picked up last night, and that is band that I wasn't really looking for specifically, but we were out and I saw this and I was like, you know what, that looks like a good one to have. It's one of those greatest hits is good enough situations for now. But I found this. We were at Walmart and I was looking through the stuff like I always do. And then I was like, they have a bunch of stuff underneath. And I was like, oh, I've never looked through that stuff before. So I found this and I was like, okay, I'll take that. But it is Kiss World. The best of Kiss. I mean, the plastic's a little beat up. This is the only one of these they had. I did like it's in this. It says red and yellow splatter vinyl. Aside from it being the plastic messed up, it's in pretty good shape from what I can tell. But let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at her. I'm not going to worry about saving the cellophane and the hype sticker and all that. Some people do. I usually don't really care one way or the other. But yeah, I saw this and I was like, you know what? I don't have any Kiss. You know, and I figured this is a good way. This is a good way to get some Kiss into my collection. We've got Rock and Roll All Night. We've got God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too. Detroit Rock City, Beth, Lick It Up. Shout It Out Loud, Calling Dr. Love, Christine 16, Love Gun. Yeah, there's some good stuff on here. So let's open her up and see what we got on the inside. It's a double LP, so it's a gatefold. Oh, cool. And then I got an old school photo of them. That's pretty dope. All right, let's have you seen that movie Role Models? Where he's like the dude, Stifler, it's like the guy who played Stifler, and he's like super obsessed with Kiss. And he's telling a little kid about the history of listening to Kiss, and he goes, I didn't know Jews could sing like that. That is pretty cool looking. Like, look at that. That is a pretty piece of vinyl right there. That is way cool. But yeah, Kiss World, the best of Kiss. You wanted the best. You got the best. Best band in the world. Kiss. Alright. That's it. That's 13 minutes. That's too damn long. I'll probably cut this down or something. I don't know, but or I might make it into 2 videos. Who knows? Anyways, that's all I got. Hope everybody has a good day, good weekend. Stay safe out there. Later.